What's up, everyone? Moses here. I didn't think it's gonna happen, but at the age of 39, I realize I'm able to fall in love again. I know it sounds kind of silly, but honestly, if you guys been following the stream in the past like couple of weeks, or I guess months, or I guess even years, I've been trying to look for a game that I can play and just chill and just stream every now and then whenever I feel like streaming. That does not commit me to 10-hour, 12-hour, 15-hour grind every day, and all that kind of stuff. And I think I found it. It's called uh, Legend, Endless Legend. Yeah, that's the name of the game. It is new to me. I just started playing it like a couple of days ago. I already like sunk in about 17 hours in this game. I'm talking about in this specific game because I started this game and it doesn't seem to want to end, which is great because I get in the game, I play for a few hours, and then I leave it, and then I load, right? So it's like a strategy turn-based game, 4X, right? Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate, where you start off with like a settler and a couple of fighting units and a hero, and you can move along, move around the map, and kind of like choose your settlement. And yeah, so let's take a look right here. I am the blue guy, right? These are my territories, and we got a couple of enemies happening over here at this point. We're actually in one with them. One of them we actually have a peace treaty with, and the other one is neutral to us. We still actually haven't declared war, even though spending about 17 hours in this game. But hey, this is the first playthrough, so I've been reading like everything. There's a bunch of information and a whole lot of decisions to make every turn. So let's just, I guess, talk a little bit about the user interface. Let's get into a town. So this was our first town. We started over here, and then we of course expanded. Mazwarium, as you can see, it has 15 population plus 1, which is a native pacified village. Gives us another, which is right here, Ereses, right? That's a neutral, well, now it's pacified, um, um, species or race or minor faction, whatever they call them here. And I'm actually producing one of the units of that particular type right now. So we're going to have one of these. It's like a big old Hydra, vine snake, that we're producing as a military unit out of this little village. But yeah, so this is our population at the moment. I have everything distributed, allocated into production, and you have like the five, the FIDSI, the food industry, science, dust, which is money, and then influence, right? So you have all these five different resources. Food, of course, is used to feed our people and create population growth. Over here, you can see that we get 113 surplus, point 0.2, and then if you look over here, you see that in order to reach the next population slot, right, to add another population to our little city over here, which is actually quite big at this point, we'll need to reach 10.2 thousand city growth upper limit, right? Currently we're at 8,500, and then we're going to lose a population if we ever reach 85, 75, right? So that's kind of like how the population works, and we can allocate people over here, and then we can generate more population within the next 5 turns because we now have 329. So that's kind of like how this thing works. Here we got like units of production, right? Every building that we have over here, there's like a list of buildings that we can build in our town, and units will cost a certain amount of production. And we currently have 184, and this, for example, costs 680. I don't know if you can actually see it. My face is covering it. It's fine. Doesn't matter. But, this guy, for example, costs 920, and we've been working on that for a little bit already. And, yeah, once the quota is filled, we can produce that. With each turn, you produce more industry. Same goes for science, and we have technologies, and same goes for our money production. Over here we can see how much money we have, 4,000 you know, 0.9, 4.9k dust, um, right? And then this is our influence. Over here, influence is used for negotiating with, you know, with different races. Um, and also there's an empire plan right here. Next plan is going to be ready in 17 turns, and during which I'm going to continue collecting more and more influence. You can see I'm getting 94 per turn over here, and then we can simulate the plan, and I can show you this little mechanic. Basically, with this plan, you can choose to distribute your influence. Currently, I only have like 397 because we just started a plan like 3 turns ago, I think. It lasts for about 20 turns, I guess, this one. But yeah, so we can simulate for the next plan and, for example, choose to distribute different amount of influence into different categories. You can see there's science and industry, military, economy and population, empire and expansion. So you could choose to put all your influence, for example, in one category. I don't even have 3,200, but you know, you get the point. And then if I did, I would be able to get, you know, +2 on districts, +2 production and science and building production cost reduction, and 20% science on cities. So just to increase our overall production. Here we chose, I went with vision on units, right? 25 approval rating on cities, and yeah, that's it. And then over here we went with um, whatever that was, gold per unit per population on cities, and yeah, I think that's all I had at that point. So this is the current allocation. Oh, I guess I already, yeah. So earlier we had 1840, whatever, you get the idea, right? So we're getting actually 3 bonuses here. We're also getting the 3 movement on units, which allow your units to travel faster, you know, longer distances every turn. There's all sorts of things that are happening here. In this game, you also get like different resources outside of your dust, which you can buy buildings and units with. You can like buy out, you know, a unit that would otherwise cost 10 turns to produce. You can just put in all the production in the form of like spending your dust and buy it out in the next turn. But there are also like luxury resources right here. For example, currently I have several of them are active, several of them are not. The ones that are active, you see, for example, this Titan Bones. This provides a 50% bonus to our industry on cities, and booster active state in 1 turn. So we only have it for the next turn. We've been having it activated in the last 9 because each booster lasts 10 turns and provide a temporary boost to our overall empire. This one, for example, adds 50% food and approval. Here we got, you know, less city upkeep, so we can earn more gold or dust, and so on. So there's a whole bunch of different boosters, and if you have like this orange rectangle, that means you have enough to activate the boost. For example, over here, booster cost 45, we only have 20, and you can see what each one of them does, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, we have also like mines. They're called extractors, and these can, you know, you have different type of resources that are used to produce, you know, armor and and weapons for your units, right? So there's a whole bunch of those, and you unlock them with your research. We're going to talk about that in a second, but you unlock the technologies, and every time you unlock a new era, different extractors or mines. Here, I'm going to show you. This, for example, right here is a mine, right? This little thing, and this will produce, my face is covering it, but it will give us +1 of this resource, mithrite, where you can see we're getting +2 from city. Yeah, so I have 2 of them across my empire, and I'm going to get +2 per turn, and my current total is 84, so we've been producing it for a while. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of extractors or mines of each one of these resources. Um, like for example, here we have Palladian, I guess. Yeah, Palladian extractor. So these will keep producing um, more and more of that particular resource, and then we can use that on armor and weapon on our units. Um, it's a whole thing. I mean, this game, there's a whole bunch of stuff to learn, and I've been learning it in the past few days. You know, you can increase production with buildings, you can increase science, you can increase food, population growth. You kind of have to work on that, and once that's going on, you can start building units and start expanding and start conquering. There's the diplomatic relations between minor factions. Um, and major races that you gotta eventually exterminate. And yeah, overall, it's a pretty sweet game. Let's continue. Over here is like the research. Currently, we're in era 5. So again, we've been playing this game for a little bit. You start off over here with in the first era, and over here, are kind of like the basic technologies. There's like a pretty basic unit that we can unlock, and then we can start producing this particular unit. This Agachi Shaman. It's a ranged unit, and so on. Um, Over here, you can see again economy and population, military, science and industry, and empire and expansion. So there's a whole bunch of technologies you got to read. You got to see what kind of effects they give you. Sewer system, for example, gives us approval on city, and you really want your people to be happy. For example, in this territory, people are fervent, which means we're getting plus 30% food on the cities and plus 30% production. So that's pretty good. When people are happy overall, that's good for the empire. Makes perfect sense, right? So we're gonna get like I think it says like from happy or whatnot. It tells you exactly the modifier. Yeah, so 23.4 additional science from being fervent. All right, so the happier they are, the more they produce and all that kind of stuff. Um, what else? There's a whole bunch of systems here. You could take a look at your heroes. You have heroes. You can modify them. For example, let's get into this guy. Inspect. You have a skill tree for each hero. You can see this guy's level is 6. You can see it right here. Yeah. So level 6 for this guy, and there are a couple of um, skill point that you can allocate on this tree, and that of course adds more passive points for this guy. You have gear that I'm currently covering, but that's fine. So you can like equip certain gear on this guy, add life, attack, damage, and all that kind of stuff. You can assign him to an army, assign him to a city. They can become governors and give passive production, science, research bonus, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. What else? We have diplomatic relation. I haven't currently touched with that too much, but I guess you could talk to different races and do all sorts of diplomatic action. Not really sure what these means just yet. Again, I'm pretty new to the game. There is a marketplace, and you can start researching things at the marketplace and unlock, for example, heroes. You can buy heroes from the marketplace. You can buy units. Right, this is the gold or dust, how much it costs, and so on, and you can inspect the units and see what's good for you. You can also retrofit and design new military units um, whenever you unlock technology. For example, this is a unit design. Um, this is a 10A Walker, and this is a 10A Improved. Right, so if you look at it at their stats, like this guy has, for example, 198 life and 49 damage. This guy has 323 life and 60 damage because I've upgraded this guy's equipment. Right, I added little battle axe and tier 1 dust uh, boots and armor, and there's a ring over here and a little trinket. over here as well. So these will add like sometimes more abilities to the unit, and sometimes more, stats. So it'll make a pretty beefy 10A walker right here. Also, rangers, I did the same. So we have like an improved ranger over here, and yeah, the basic one I think I deleted the basic version, because once you got the improved one, you don't really need a basic one. These are a couple of the subjugated minor factions that we have. We have a couple pacified minor factions, and I'm actually currently creating one of these Hydras or Vine Snake, and there's an Ice Warg. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of I'm playing the Wild Walkers, which is essentially elves, right? That's what I started with, and there, I think, at the basic version of the game, there's like 7 different races that you can choose from, and you can also customize a race, but I haven't gotten to that just yet. Yeah, what else? So there's also a winter mechanic. As you can see right now, it is winter, and we're getting like less vision, our units getting less movement, our cities produce less food and less gold, less population growth, less science, less everything. Um, and we can see over here, it says, the forecast. At some point in the future, summer will return to Auriga. You have only a vague knowledge of how many turns min max will take. Number of past winters, 4. So we already had 4 winters in the past, and anytime between the next 1 to 7 turns, the summer will return, and with it, we're going to get all of our, normal production back online. Over here is our units. We have currently this dude. This dude is a hero, and he commands these 4 units right here. There's a couple of archers and a 10A warrior. When they level up, they also add, they also get bonus to their life, to their damage, defense, attack, initiative, and all that kind of stuff. So you saw like the base version of this 10A warrior was level 1 with like 300 and whatever life, and this guy has 712. So that's a, that's a beefcake right there. These guys as well, 400 HP for an archer. That's kind of a lot, and they do just loads of damage. This is our hero. We found this insane quest sword, which basically allows this hero to do 159 damage per hit. So essentially, I've seen this guy one-shots all sorts of armies. But yeah, that was a unique sword that we found, and we can put that on an infantry hero. There are, support heroes and ranged heroes, so you can get all sorts of weapons like, claws and bows and scepters and staves and all that kind of stuff. So it depends on what kind of hero you have, and of course each hero has their own like skill tree that you can allocate points into. Yeah, there are all sorts of events. Like for example, this is a raised city. We burnt that city. We attacked that city, so that we could essentially, eventually inhabit this area and rebuild those cities. When you rebuild cities you destroyed or cities that are ruined, you get the population bonus to your empire. Like I showed you here, we got +3 from population in the area, because we have 3 little villages right here. Gorans here, here, and here. So yeah, 3 villages provides us with 3 additional units. I don't know. I think I covered a lot, and that kind of like gives you an idea of what this game is all about. It's I don't know. There's nothing to fight. I kind of killed everything. Um, Combat is not all that great. Like I mostly play on auto combat, and All right, there's a temple. We can explore the temple ruins with this military. This little military is kind of I think it's my biggest army right here. We have this hero again. They're pretty massive, and they command just a bunch of level 5 units, archers, and Yeah, I guess these are all archers and that one shaman that we built earlier on. So there's ruined temple, and you can explore it. There's some dust that's being added. Um, there's a couple more, so I just go and explore these temples right here, ruins. And sometimes you have like roaming armies. Actually, there is um, there is a village over here. It's currently hostile. We can go and attack it so you guys can see a little bit of a, fighting animation. There's also one right here. Okay, so we found a little village. We can either attack, bribe, or parlay. When you bribe or parlay, you become diplomatic with this village, but when you attack, you can then rebuild the city, and then you get the population. So it's better to just attack, as far as I'm concerned. So this guy is running around. There are 5 units over here, and they're not particularly strong. Like, this guy has 700 life. These only have like about 80 life each. So it's not very fair. But yeah, let's go into spectator mode and go on the offensive, and we're ready to fight. So this is the combat. I'm, again, playing it in auto mode. This is our hero. He's gonna go and slash, rip. Yeah, so yeah, with this insane sword that he has, he simply just one-shots everything. Archers are doing pretty solid damage. And yeah, I'm not controlling anything over here. It's just an auto combat. But we can spectate. And honestly, in a game like this, it's more about the expansion, not necessarily about the combat over here. That's not why you play a game like this. So I guess that's fine. But you can also kind of like manage the combat yourself, which I don't know. I don't particularly feel like doing. It's fine with me. And you can also just press auto combat without even spectating, so you just see the results of the fight. You get slashed. It's just not fair. I mean, this final unit. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. It was a small little village. Two-headed hyena people. Seems good. So yeah, this game is actually pretty lovely if you're into strategy games like that. It's pretty sweet. Alright. So yeah, we didn't suffer any damage at all. We got 31 XP to the army and destroyed these 5 units. So yeah. Jodas. So this village has been pacified and destroyed, but no one controls it. So once you kill it and destroy it, we can. It belongs to this territory right here, Rely. And if we get a settler that I'm currently building, right? You can send this guy to settle in a different colony or a different territory, and then you can start expanding and create a colony, turn that into a big city with big population production and all that kind of stuff. So when we do, we'll then be able to rebuild the city and get a bonus population off of this guy. And there are a couple of other towns. Usually there's, I don't know, sometimes there's one, sometimes there's more. Over here, for example, we have areas with 3 cities, with 2. Depends. I guess it's RNG. Yeah, and you kind of have to manage production with every city, and you can kind of like scroll between your cities and see what you're producing in each one. Right, so that's pretty cool. What else? We have this guy. This guy is exploring. I'm not entirely sure where he wants to go. It looks like he wants to go here. Oh, there is a temple, so we can get in here and search. 400 pixie blood. This is one of those special resources that you can get boosters to beef up your economy. And a bunch of them are going to expire. pretty soon. We can like scroll out for a little overlook and search for more temples, but uh, I mean there are other empires as well. There's a temple ruin over here. I don't know. Also, yeah, in the winter you're getting like movement penalty, so that kind of sucks. But that's fine. And yeah, you can build roads between your cities, and then you can see you're getting a whole bunch of movement on the roads, even on winter. So that's kind of great. There's a lot to this game. Um, all right, so let's end this turn. It tells me an idle city construction, so let's take a look at what can we build over here. All right, there's a whole thing with borough streets. This is an expansion of your current city. If we scroll out, you see these little tiles. You can see that they're like built. They're different than the others because each one of them is a district, right? See, it says district level 1, district level 2, district level 1, district level 1. This one is level 2 because it's surrounded by at least 4 level 1 districts. So this is, for example, a cargo docks, and there's, you know, 3 other districts surrounding this, right? And we can build another expansion to this city, okay, that will allow for another tile to be upgraded, because it says we'll upgrade to level 2 when surrounded by 4 level 1 districts. So if we build borough, for example, let's see, what are my options here? I have no options, unfortunately, because this is blocked by unexploited ruins. So let's see. I don't have any unit here. Okay, so this unspoiled ruin is actually blocking me. So it will take me 2 turns to make another, you know, and then here we got coastal waters. So we cannot do anything over here. But let's see. Anyways, this is a level 2 this is level 2 district surrounded by 1, 2, 3, and 4. I guess if can I build something here? Yes, I can. So if I build 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so if I either build here or here, this district, well, I guess it's already a level 2. So anyways, there's this entire interplay between these borough you know, streets, and you can kind of like I guess this will be good. We can build over here. It's kind of a small area anyways, so we can build this guy over here, and then the next one we can put like here, and then this will be surrounded by 3, and we can expand on that. And yeah, you can also like replace it if you changed your mind before production actually starts. So yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. This territory is extremely small, so there's not much we can expand to, as you can see. But that's kind of like the idea. You want to be placing your borough streets in a way that will have districts that are surrounded by 4 level 1s, and then they level up, and then they just give you a bunch of more production. Yeah. Anyways, so now that we're building these borough streets, we can just pay 1744 gold to make that happen in 1 turn, but you know, it's not particularly worth it. A new turn. A whole bunch of cities have empty construction queue, so let's get in here and see what we can build. So we can place army manual, which gives additional experience when recruiting a unit. City improvement, imperial funding. This adds to the research. +5 on terrain with science. Um, Usually what I'm focused on is like we have a whole bunch of research. I'm usually focused on trying to get as much um, food, because food means population growth. So I'm building these hot houses and the subterranean gardens, which adds more food to the economy. So that's more population growth, so we can produce more things. Um, and then we can do the imperial funding. So we have a couple of queues that are going to be lasting us for a while. But also, we're going to get a bunch of production once winter ends. So, like, don't worry about that. It may seem like a very long time, but it's actually not. Okay, so we're building that there. And, okay, mining rights. This will allow us to get an additional resource output from any one of these extractors that we already have in this territory, and we got several of them, like mithrite right here. There is titanium extractor, there is moonleaf extractor. So all of these are different kind of resources. Hydromiel extractor and all that. So this will give us +1 to each one of those. So that's kind of dope. So we can build that. And yeah, outside of that, the city is pretty developed. We can go with the hot houses for more food. There's a smokehouse. There's a little something nice here. If we go to the Empire, there are stockpiles. So if it's like winter and you want to save up for the winter, so during the summer you're building stockpiles. Right now, I have 600 production stockpile that I can apply right now. On a click of a button, I can activate that and choose where I'm going to put it. So if you build a bunch of stockpiles through the summer, when it's winter, you can throw just an insane amount of production on this one city if there's something that you want to boost, So you can choose, for example, the mining rights that we said is going to take like whatever turns on that one town that we just built to add the production. Or if we want to produce that settler rather quickly, we can choose Ostack right here, for example, and it will add 600 production. We can select that. That's it. So we used up this stockpile, and now Ostack, which is this territory, will have its settler produced next turn because, well, we just provided 600 production. We used up the stockpile, so that's cool. And you can do that not just for industry, but you can do that for food, you can do that for science, and so on. So that's super cool that you can build those things. They cost quite a lot. They cost like 1200 production or whatnot, but you can really allow to boost, if you build several of those. Sometimes your cities are going to be freed up and nothing to build, so you can produce these stockpiles. And yeah, all of those things needs to be researched. So I already researched the stockpile technology. um, yeah, anyways, so you can build this warehouse. That's a stockpile. You can build Royal Academy. That's a science stockpile. And then food stockpile right here with the smokehouse. Can build this army manual. Each building that you build also adds or reduce from your upkeep, right? You got to maintain those buildings, so this will cost you 7 per turn, and I'm currently making 215 per turn. Yeah, so you can see we can also activate boosters that we just for example, we just had a bunch of them expire. So this is emeralds, right? We can get +5 approval on cities. Currently, the approval is only 65%. So we can add that. Yes. And there you go. 5 you know, approval across the board, and this is going to last us for 10 turns. We can also get +10 on cities and trade routes. I'm not really sure how these work. So we can activate additional 10 approval, and now we went out to 80%. And all of a sudden, you see, we had like 200 gold per turn, and now it's 430. So, you know, you get the point, right? More approval. Sure. Let's go. So 539 per turn. That's our approval. It goes for our production, for our science. We definitely want fervent if we can, you know, if we can help it, which we can. So let's get this moonleaf booster. It costs 40 and it lasts 10 turns, and you know, all of a sudden everybody's, you know, happy with us. This is our overall empire approval value, right? So people are fervent. It's very good for all the sort of production, all that kind of stuff, and you can access that. I just learned that mechanic. I didn't realize it existed. So we can activate boosters. That's why I have so much of all these resources, because I haven't used them up until basically like turn 150 or so. We just learned that. So there's something here with trade routes, which I don't know how it works, but we're getting science and gold between I guess our empires or whatnot. I guess because this we're in peace with these people, so we're getting you know, with this empire we're getting additional. I'm not really sure. There's like a detail. I'm kind of uncertain how this mechanic really works, but I know it exists here. I think you may need, like, I don't want to speculate too much, but you may need to be in peace with these people, because I'm actually with a peace. I signed a peace treaty with these guys, and I guess that means we have different. You know, we can extract some research and some money off of that. Um, but if I can say that I know exactly how this thing works, I would be lying. So let's not say that. But yeah, this is what we're producing off of that, which is pretty dope. Um, I believe we covered a lot. There's still a whole bunch of things that I haven't even talked about, but hey, we've been talking about this game for about 40 minutes, so uh, I think that if you've watched until now, then props to you. I know I got a little bit lost in the explanations, but just so you know, it's a pretty sweet game. It's too silent between, let's see. Okay. So it's a pretty sweet game. If you like these kind of strategy games, I'm certainly going to recommend you to check it out. Totally worth trying out, guys. Highly, highly recommended. Uh, I guess we already burnt this city to the ground, so we can't attack it twice. So yeah, I'm going to continue streaming this, and yeah, let's kill these guys with an auto combat. You can just go, you know, you can choose the stance, defensive, offensive, or hold position, and then go auto, and then ready to fight. And okay, we lost a unit. That happens, but that's fine. This guy was pretty weak from like the first era, so it's actually good for us that he died. We can replace him with a different unit. We can also sell units, by the way, for gold. Like you can sell this entire army for 3,200 gold. If you really need gold, you can start selling units. There's a whole bunch of actions and things to explore in this game, but I think we've covered a lot of it in this video. And yeah, um, make sure to check out the stream. We'll be streaming it for the near future. The game that no one really views on Twitch, but hey, I'm having fun, so that's what matters for me, at least for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on stream. Bye bye, friends.